All right, intelligence briefing. We're decoding the physical AI signal coming out of Korea. While Wall Street was dark for the holiday, the Asian supply chain fired off one of the most aggressive buy signals we've seen all year. Make no mistake, the capital is not waiting for Tuesday's bell.
Look, tonight, the New York trading floor is quiet for Martin Luther King Day, but you can't let that silence fool you. While U.S. traders were offline, the supply chain data was locking in the trajectory for Tuesday's open. What we saw was a major decoupling event, a clear signal that institutional money in Asia is making its move before the U.S. market even has a chance to react. And this is the core of the anomaly. We're talking about a 5.47 trillion Korean won foreign capital inflow. This isn't some speculative flash in the pan. This is a structural shift. Our job is to decode the vector of this money. Okay, phase one of the investigation. What happened on the surface? Let's look at what the mainstream tickers showed and, more importantly, what they completely missed. And this is the whole game right here. You see the KOSPI index breaching a big number, but that's just noise. It's a distraction. The real story, the signal we are tracking, is the intent behind this massive flow of capital. And it's all aimed at one single theme. So here's what the algorithm saw. The KSP broke that key psychological barrier, 4,900. Well, that instantly triggered global index fund algos, forcing a mechanical buying spree. The machines had no choice. They were forced to increase exposure to Korea as a critical hardware hub. Now, we dig deeper. This is where we find the real story. In any major market shift, there's always a canary in the coal mine, right? A single data point that tells you everything about the underlying trend. And today, that canary was not where you'd expect. It wasn't in semiconductors. Here it is. This is the hidden signal. While the main index was up a respectable 1.3%, this key supply chain node, Hyundai Motor, saw a signal activation of over 16%. This is not an auto rally. This is a complete redefinition of a legacy company happening in real time. And this is exactly why. The market is no longer looking at Hyundai as just a car company. On the left, you see a tool for transportation. On the right, you see an AI robotics platform. Capital is aggressively pricing in the company's future in robotics, using the exact same logic they apply to Tesla in its Optimus project. So what does this actually mean in dollars and cents? It means a violent, upside re-rating of its valuation. We are literally watching the market shift from a low price-to-earnings multiple of a boring old manufacturer to the high-growth tech multiple of an AI robotics platform. That right there is the engine behind that 16% explosion. Okay, let's zoom out. This isn't just about one company. This is about a massive rotation of capital that's happening across entire sectors. And just so we're crystal clear, a multiple re-rating isn't just the stock price going up. It's the market fundamentally changing its mind about what a company is and what its future earnings are truly worth. This is a structural change, not some temporary spike. What we're witnessing right now is the next phase of the entire AI trade. The capital is rotating. You see, phase one was all about AI training, the servers, the HBM chips, the stuff in the data center. Phase two, which is activating right now, is about AI execution. It's about the tangible hardware, the cars and the robots that actually go out and do things in the physical world. So how do we know this isn't just another speculative pump? We follow the flow. This chart shows a massive handover. While foreign institutional money was pouring in over 5 trillion won, local retail investors were selling off 7.5 trillion. This transfer from weak hands to strong hands, well, that's all the confirmation you need that this is a real structural trend. Okay, so what does this Asian signal mean for the U.S. Open? We have to translate this data into an actionable vector for Tuesday. The strategic importance here is simple. Korea is the global proxy for the entire hardware supply chain. This move signals that when the U.S. market opens, that liquidity is likely going to flow aggressively into the American counterparts of this physical AI theme. Which brings us to execution. No predictions here, just a clear, tactical playbook for when that opening bell rings. So here it is, your actionable checklist. We're watching Tesla at the open. If the stock gaps up, opens significantly higher, and holds that level, that's your confirmation for a long entry. If it immediately sells off to fill the gap, we wait. We're also going to be monitoring the DRIV ETF to see if we get a sympathetic rally across the whole autonomous vehicle sector. Now you have to be prepared for both scenarios. The bull case is a sea of neon green.
Nasdaq futures gap up and hold, confirming this physical AI trade is global. The bear case, the trap, is painted crimson red. The US Open ignores the signal and fades. If that happens, the rally in Korea was just an isolated squeeze, and we treat it like a bull trap.
So, to wrap it up, this is the watch list for Tuesday. These are the key tickers that represent the physical AI hardware theme in the US market. Your focus needs to be right here. Give the market the first 30 minutes to confirm whether Wall Street capital is buying into this new narrative.
And that leaves us with the final question. The signal has been sent from the supply chain. The capital has rotated. Now we watch. Is Wall Street ready to price in what could be the very beginning of the physical AI hardware supercycle?